What's going on, everybody? I'm Kevin from Cigar Prop. It is another Tech Tip Sunday. I'm in the office today. 3D printers are going in the background. Hopefully it's not too much noise. You'll notice there's two of them are missing. I had to send the two new ones back. Updated design. I should have just stuck with the original, so I had to send them back. I got two more new ones coming today. Be back up to running 5 and get caught up on some of these projects I'm a little behind on. Today's tech tip is also kind of a tech rant. It's about Jeeps, but if you don't own a Jeep, don't just scroll. This could apply to you as well, because it's something we've talked about a long time ago. But couple issues. My last vehicle of the day yesterday was a Jeep Wrangler, jacked up as usual, all the dumb shit on there. And normally doing dumb shit doesn't cost the customer too much more money. I'll go into this one, then we'll talk about that. But this one did cost. So right here I have a bunch of valve caps. You'll notice this one is partially destroyed, but you'll notice this one still has a little piece of rubber on there. Why is that? Because it wouldn't come off. People put these metal colored caps onto their I wish I brought well, most everybody knows like that your valve cap or your valve stem has a brass tip on it. Keeps it from corroding, rusting, whatnot. But what happens is when you put two dissimilar metals together, they can, I forget what the process is called, but they'll weld themselves together over time. So this valve cap welded itself, became not weld, literal weld, but they became one, and the customer chewed up the rim. I mean, scratched his rim pretty good trying to get this one off, just to check his air pressure. It's all he was doing. So brought it in, said there's nothing I can do to get him off. I'll have to cut the piece off as I did there, and then we'll have to break the tire down. And luckily these tire pressure sensors, they were the rubber style, so the valve stem bolted onto the sensor, so you could just replace the stem and then you're always reusing your sensor. Some vehicles, the sensor and the stem is all one piece, and you just replaced a little rubber O-ring, grommet in there. If he'd had that style, we'd had to just chisel, break the stem off, and then, put a new one on, but they would have cost him a new sensor. So it'd have been, $125 per wheel. Luckily on this one, there was only 2 that were frozen on there. So, but it'd have been a couple $100. But as it stood now, he paid us like $55 to get them all fixed up and on the road again. But he did scratch the hell out of one of his wheels, and that sucks. So now he's gonna have to go out and he's either gonna have to live with the scratch, send it out to have it refinished, replace the rim. But either way, he's gonna be hundreds of dollars into it because he wanted a cool valve cap. Who would have thought a simple little valve cap would have had so much impact on there? But another Jeep comes in, and this guy, I really felt sorry for him. He looks like he was probably, I would say early 60s, either real late 50s, early 60s. And he came in with one of them big dumb Jeeps. He had just bought it. His English wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't. I mean, we were able to talk, but I never got, whether he did this to the Jeep himself. From what I made of the conversation, he bought it like this, all jacked up and everything else. Real severe vibration going down the road. It pulls to one side. So I took it for a test drive. Severe vibration in it. So pulled it in the bay, got it up in the air, started looking at the tires. I'm like, ugh, these are F-load, as F as in Frank tires. So your truck tires come in like C-load, D-load, E-load, F-load. So your C-load is just your typical Silverado F-150, just a basic, truck tire, not heavy dude, just a truck tire. your D load, D as in David. So you go A, B, C, D, E, F, 6. So D, A, B, C, D, that's the 4th letter. Multiply that by 2, and you get a 8-ply tire. And, you know, E load, 10-ply, F load, you know, so and so. So the more plies, the more heavier duty that you get. Like your Chevy 3500 HD dually is going to have an E-load rated tire. That is a heavy, heavy duty tire for towing, for everything else. This guy had F-load tires. That's one step above what you would put on a commercial dually towing a big trailer. That tire is going to require 100 PSI of air to operate efficiently. You know, the stock Jeep is only calling for 36 pounds of air. You can't put 36 in an F-load, but you also can't put 100 because it's on a Jeep and it would bounce all down the road. Where's the happy medium? I don't know where that happy medium is. We don't get guidance on that. There is no guidance on how to put, you know, that tire on a vehicle that it never came with before. So he had the wrong tires on there. So I kind of adjusted tire pressure. I'm like, we can go somewhere in the middle, you know, 45, 50, you know, and I think I can't remember. I think we ended up doing 45. It was the end of the day Friday. Also my last car. Oh, look at that. 2 days in a row. My last pain in the ass car of the day was a Jeep. I didn't even think about that. Get him down. You know, he wanted them rotated because the fronts were starting to wear a little bit unevenly. And then when he pulled the tires down, that's when I noticed the wheel weights everywhere. So obviously, I don't have a machine that can balance a tire like that. I recommended a performance shop down the road that only does custom lifted vehicles. But I said, I think they charge about $300 because it's a long process to balance a tire like that. So they'll be able to take care of you. But I'm like, I'll get it up on the alignment rack. We'll check the alignment, align it out a mile. But whoever built the suspension didn't put in the availability for me to adjust the camber. So couldn't do that. I'm like, take it down to those guys as well. They'll be able to put everything in for you. And then they'll be able to align it as well. So this guy bought this vehicle and he's going to be, you know, his first thing that he's going to do, he's probably going to be $1,500 into this. So the moral here, not the moral, I don't know where we're kind of going with this. I don't like Jeep people. Jeep people always do dumb shit to their vehicles. And this applies to you just regular truck people as well. You got to think, you know, how is everything going to be affected? You need to ask for advice. Like, you know, you go into some place and you get these, you know, a deal on these F-load rated tires. Oh, that's a good deal. But then you don't think about, you know, about how that's going to affect the way the vehicle rides. You raise the suspension up just because you want to look cool, and then you don't realize that it's going to be all over the place and it's never going to ride right. And you're always going to blame me, you know, the technician that tries to help you out. You're not going to blame the guy that put all this shit on because you asked him to do that. You're going to blame the guy that you want to fix that guy, not that guy. That guy he's just out there to put a lift on. So you got to think every little thing you do to a vehicle is going to affect something else. Even just a simple rim swap, a simple, you know, because you want a cool valve stem. You got to, anytime you make any change from what the OEM manufacturer put on, you've got to do your due diligence. You got to search the forums. You got to search threads, Reddit. You got to do as much research as you can to make sure that little thing isn't going to affect something else. You Jeep people, just stop with whatever it is you're trying to do. I don't know what it is, you know, but whatever. You want to be cool. Look at me. I did all this. I changed the OEM, you know, as well. And has it affected me? I don't know. It's made me cooler, I guess. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that because then Jeep people will be like, see, raising it up made me cooler. No, kind of made you a dick because then you do the duck thing and then you complain to me that your vehicle pulls and it vibrates when I'm not the one that did all that fucking stuff to your Jeep. All right, we're out of time. I don't know. Did this help? Probably not. Peace.